we're starting with the audio test on all three phones. This is Galaxy A55, check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3. And we have Honor 200. We have a noisy background. I don't know if you can hear that. And this is Pixel 8A dual camera system versus the triple camera system of A55 and Honor 200. I think that's it with a quick audio test. Now let's check some port shots. On 1x, Galaxy A55 is the widest, followed by Honor 200, and lastly Pixel 8a with 1.5x. Honor 200 creates the brightest face, followed by Pixel 8a and then Galaxy A55. A55 and Honor 200 creates beautified photos, but I seriously like the more detailed look on Pixel 8a, but on low light condition, this might also affect the graininess of the subject. Galaxy A55 loses on the focal length. You only have one FOV on portrait mode. Honor 200 uses all the three sensors, and Pixel 8a stays on the main sensor, even though you change the focal length from 1.5x to 3x. At this point, Galaxy A55 will struggle. Honor 200 stands out on the low light condition, and you got grainy but good details on Pixel 8a.
Take your best shot, show me what you got, no you can't resist. You know I'm ready for this.
On portrait zoom, I think Pixel 8a wins the portrait mode just because of consistency. It's using the main sensor all throughout the portrait shot. Honor 200 is a little bit soft, and Galaxy A55 again does not have zoom portrait. Also looking at my jacket, Pixel 8 is more color accurate, but since Honor 200 is using the telephoto lens, it has better edge detection than Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a. On selfie, I like Pixel 8a the best, followed by Honor 200 and Galaxy A55. Samsung's mid-range is a little bit soft as well as Honor 200, but Pixel 8a maintains the consistency of good exposure and details. This is the video quality test, starting with the selfie video recording. 4K 30 FPS on all three phones. We have 32 megapixel on Galaxy A55, 50 megapixel on Honor 200, and 13 megapixel on Pixel 8a. We can switch from 0.8 to 1 on Honor 200 and 1 to 1.4 on Pixel 8. I think that's it for the selfie. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're testing the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS on Honor 200 and Galaxy A55 and only Full HD on Pixel 8a. It has 13 megapixel sensor. We have 50 megapixel sensor on Honor 200 and we have 12 megapixel sensor on Galaxy A55. Now let's switch to the main sensor. In terms of video quality, this is the best sensor on all three phones, the main sensor. So on Pixel 8a, we have 64 megapixel sensor. On Honor 200 and Galaxy A55, we have 50 megapixel sensor, both the same size, 1/1.56 versus 1/1.73 on Pixel 8a. We're shooting in 4K 30 FPS on all three phones. Now let's check the zoom. Now in terms of zoom video recording, we only have Honor 200 that uses a telephoto sensor, 2.5x. It outputs 3x on the video recording, while we have 2 times crop on both Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a. So in terms of selfie video recording, ultra-wide main sensor and zoom, which phone do you think is better? On the image quality test, Galaxy A55 is the most saturated, Honor 200 is the brightest, and Pixel 8a has the best all-around look. Indoors, Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a are almost the same. Again, Honor 200 is just the brightest photo among the three. Colors are not as deep as the competition. In terms of color accuracy, Pixel 8a is the closest, followed closely by Galaxy A55 and Honor 200 again. Since it's the brightest exposure, it changes how the image look. Talking about white balance, Pixel 8a is the warmest, followed by Galaxy A55, and you have a cooler tone on Honor 200. Sometimes the red on Honor 200 becomes a little bit pink because of the white balance and exposure. But in terms of field of view, you have a triple camera setup on Honor 200 with that telephoto 2.5x. Pixel 8a only has dual camera system, but Galaxy A55 has a triple camera system with that macro sensor. think the biggest difference on all three phones is the ported video on Honor 200. We don't have this on Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a. This is the selfie video recording, video stabilization test using the selfie camera in 4K 30 FPS on all three phones. So we're looking at the clouds and we're doing video stabilization test now. Now let's switch to the rear cameras. Now we're testing the rear cameras of all three phones, starting with the ultra wide lens in 4K 30 FPS. We can shoot 4K 30 FPS on Pixel 8a, so we're stuck with the main sensor. It can only shoot ultra wide using full HD resolution. So checking the ultra wide of Honor 200 and Galaxy A55. Look at the colors of the sky and the exposure. Now we're checking the video stabilization. Now we're switching to the main sensor. So we have the main sensor on all three phones. Again, looking at the sky, the exposure on that building, and this tree, better exposed on Honor 200, I think. And you'll see shadows on Pixel 8a and Galaxy A55. Now we're checking the video stabilization. And we have 2x digital crop on Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a, but we have 3 times zoom using the 2.5x optical on Honor 200. So you'll have better clarity on Honor 200. Again, video stabilization test. Now if we zoom in to the video, we have 10x on Galaxy A55, 10x on Honor 200, and 5x on Pixel 8a. Again, switching back to the main sensor, which phone do you think is better?
Late night feels like
On night shot, great dynamic range on Galaxy A55. We have an HDR look on Honor 200, more colorful but darker, and we have the brightest image among the three on Pixel 8a.
your name pops up.
I noticed a little bit of purplish tone on Galaxy A55, but both Honor 200 and Pixel 8a has great white balance.
For hours on and on about nothing at all. Got me at every word. Serotonin to my heart. I wanna let you know that you can call me tonight.
On pitch black condition, I think overall I like the image on Galaxy A55. It controls the exposure, brightness, and noise really well.
Ease my pain. 'Cause girl, it's healing. You're my medicine. Something inside comes alive.
Alright, we're starting our low-light video test with a selfie video recording in 4K 30 FPS on all three phones. So we have 13 megapixel on Pixel 8a, 32 megapixel on Galaxy A55, and 50 megapixel on Honor 200. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're testing the rear cameras using the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS on all three phones. So we have 13 megapixel on Galaxy A55 and 12 megapixel on both Honor 200 and Pixel 8a. I think the biggest difference here is the resolution. We have Full HD on Google Pixel 8a and 4K on Honor and Galaxy A55. Now let's switch to the main sensor. Now we're testing the main sensor of all three phones. I think this is the best sensors for low-light video recording. So we have 64 megapixel on Pixel 8a and 50 megapixel on both Honor and Galaxy A55. The difference is the sensor size. We have a bigger sensor for Honor 200 and Galaxy A55 at 1/1.56, and a little bit smaller on Pixel 8a with 1/1.73. But all phones can shoot 4K on the main sensor. And lastly, we're checking the zoom. So we have optical zoom on Honor 200, the 50 megapixel sensor, and we're just cropping in on Galaxy A55 and Pixel 8a. So in terms of low-light video performance from the selfie, ultra-wide main sensor, and zoom, which phone is the best? This is the highest resolution 4K 60 FPS on Pixel 8a. There's no 60 FPS on Galaxy A55 and Honor 200, only 30 FPS. I think that's it for a camera comparison video. Pixel 8a, Galaxy A55, and Honor 200. Which phone is the best? Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.